Hello, race fans, and welcome back to the More Freedom Series. Today we have traveled to the Texas Motor Speedway for the Texas 100. This is going to be race number 21 in the More Freedom Series Season 6. And the points race has closed up, so let's go through your current top 10. Your points leader is the 61 of Chevy. Second's going to be the 51 of AJM. Third will be the 67 of the Mini Checks. Fourth will be the 88 of NM. Fifth will be the 122 of Adam Victor. Sixth will be the 96 of Nico. Seventh will be the 11 of TC Roberts. Eighth will be the 3 of Geek Girl Games. Ninth will be the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 13 of King of the Aces. Just check in on your team and chassis standings. Aces of Zed Motorsports leads the way. MBR now into the second position. Third will be TPRG. Fourth will be the Drop Bear Racing Team. And rounding out your top 5 will be Amish Buggy Racing. Chassis standings are Dodge, Toyota, and Chevy. So that's a look at all things points here today for the Texas 100 here at the Texas Motor Speedway. They're getting these cars dialed in. I'm getting excited. The crowd's starting to get work into the stadium here, and I think it's about time, so let's go race it. As I get the cars fired up and out on the track, let's go through your starting lineup today for the Texas 100. Starting on the pole will be the 300 of Resemble, and on his outside, the 33 of Harvey Jones. Starting third will be the 42 of Mel Say What, and on her outside, the 666 of Pistol Pete. Starting fifth will be the 50 of Canny May, and on her outside, the 96 of Nico. Starting seventh will be the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days, and on her outside, her teammate, the 8 of Moon Bunny. Starting ninth will be the 67 of the Mini Checks, and rounding out your top 10, the last driver for G3 Motorsports, the owner herself, the 3 of Geek Girl Games. So that's a look at your starting lineup today for the Texas 100. G3 and G3 Motorsports got all of their cars in the top 10 today. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with, I feel like. We'll see if they can get her done here today at Texas. But we've got Resemble leading us down to the green flag, and the Dr. Pepper Whataburger Toyota for the Drop Bear Racing Team. He's got the wily Harvey Jones on the outside, mullet and all, and the Cheerwine Dodge for RP Motorsports. We're going to see what those two drivers can do here at Texas. Again, high speed. I think it's going to be a high-speed affair. Not sure. We're going to find out. That beautiful orange and black Dodge Challenger pace car ducks in. We're waiting on the starter's decision. Crowd is on their feet. The green flag is out, and we are underway here at Texas. So they're going to get these cars fired up. We'll see how fast they get these things up to. Your qualifying lap was a 26.637 for Resemble here, putting that car on the pole. He is working down the backstretch right there in front of the 42 and the 50 and the 356. As the 50 of Canny May trying to work to the bottom of the track here. She makes it 3 wide, now just 2 wide for second position, as Resemble is going to be able to lead lap number 1. Let's bring up that timing and scoring. As always, top 10 will be on your left. Favorite driver scrolling across the top, as your leader on the track is that 300 of Resemble. Battle for the second position between now the 67 of the Mini Checks, the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days, the 50 of Canny May. Canny May to the high side here. Mini Checks to the low line. They are trying to work around that 356. They've got help by the 88 of NM here in that new, beautiful Kraken-sponsored livery for the 88s for MBR. So Kraken coming on board with the 88 of NM, and absolutely fantastic livery on that car here today. He's got the points leader, the 61 of Chevy there, pushing to the front of this field. As you know, Chevy has just had an amazing season as the Drop Bear Racing Team, now 1-2 on the track. So Chevy has had an amazing season here in his rookie campaign here in the More Freedom Series, as he is currently leading the points third here on the track, as we watch a battle between known to record, the 23 of Fuller Than You and the 3 of Geek Girl Games. So Paul has moved himself up into the top 10 after starting in the 17th position, as we now have a battle on the track for the second spot between the 67 of the Mini Checks and the 61 of Chevy. Chevy started today's race back in 13th. The mini checks staying to that high line. They're getting a good run off the turn, through the turn, into the turn, off the turn, away through the turn. So many turns as there is an accident on the track. We do see multiple cars involved here. Looks like that is involving, that could be the 34 Super Snake. We're checking in on it. It is the 34 Super Snake and his brother and teammate and car owner. The 777 of Seabass also involved. Not sure if that involved the 42 or the 00 or the 25, possibly the 95. Pink Panther looks like he's got a little bit of left-hand side damage on his car. So that looks like that's going to put the 777 and the 34 both out of this race, as we see the 67 of the mini checks leading us down pit road here for the first time here at Texas. We're going to see what the Drop Bear Racing team can do for both the 300 and the 67. We'll follow along with that 67 of Resemble here, trying to get a good view of that car. He has got right side tires going on. Fuel going into the 300 of Resemble. Left side tires going on back there in the back for the 67 of the mini checks. Left side tires on. He's going to be down. He's going to be away. The mini checks are going to beat him out. We got Resemble a little bit extra time here in the pits. He's finally down and away, going to come out in like the 3rd or 4th position here. So the mini checks with a great pit stop, going for race win number 4 of their fledgling career here today. Let's see what brought out that caution. Well, this caution is going to be brought out by a Super Snake sandwich here. He's going to get sandwiched between, it looks like, the 51 of AJM and the 666 of Pistol Pete. Let's watch this happen. Well, as a result of that caution, both Seabass and Super Snake will be out of this race here today. That does put a damper on their points here. Super Snake had moved up to the 16th position. Unfortunately, Seabass had fallen back to 32nd, so that's not going to help him here at all today. Let's go through your current top 10 after those pit stops here on this caution. Your leader is the 67 of the mini checks. Second will be the 61 of Chevy. Third will be the 23 of Fuller Than You. Fourth will be the 420 of Queen of Hearts. Fifth will be the 300 of Resemble. Sixth will be the 96 of Nico. Seventh will be the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days. Eighth will be the 13 of King of the Aces. Ninth will be the 88 of NM. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 799 of Mike Check. So book ended by the Drop Bear Racing team, the 67 of the mini checks, out to the lead of this race, early going. In the middle there, we have the 300 of Resemble, and in 10th, we got the 799 of Mike Check. Their other fellow drivers, the 471 of Kung Fu Beer currently runs 15th, and the 999 of Deviant back in 29th right now. I did see the 42 of Mel Say What was involved in that caution. I think possibly the 666 of Pistol Pete bounced off of her on the outside wall, came down and hit the 34 and the 51. So I think that 4-wide action there really caused mayhem here today at Texas. Fastest lap of the day is by that 61 of Chevy at 202.303 miles per hour. So a very, very fast day here today at Texas. That is about actually it's not even that far. It's 1/10 off the qualifying speed of the 300 of Resemble. So that draft here today at Texas really helping these drivers get around the track. Seeming a little bit more like Daytona than it does Texas right now. Hopefully no more big ones, as I think we're getting ready to see the split here coming towards the green flag. Chevy's going to be in the high line, odds on the left, evens on the right. Chevy is staying to the high side here. We'll see if he can get a good jump on the 67 of the mini checks. They have come a long way in their career here this season in the More Freedom Series. There's those skid marks across the front stretch here. Pace car is in. That beautiful orange and black Dodge Challenge pace car is in. Green flag is out. We're back underway here at Texas. Looks like Chevy will get a little bit of a jump, probably lead that lap. Mini checks working to the bottom of the track with the help of the Toyota teammates, the 23 of Fuller Than You and the 300 of Resemble. So Fuller working to the bottom line. He is looking for, I think, win number 3 this season. It's 2 or 3 at this point. So he is trying to win another race for the Aces to Z Motorsports here. He has moved up in the standings as of late. He does have 2 wins on the season. Currently in the 19th in points, as it looks like I'm not sure who led that last lap. I was looking at the point standings. So the 300 of Resemble pushing himself out to the front of this field, but NM is pushing the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days out to the front of this field. They're on the low line right now as they got helped by the 420 of Queen of Hearts here. So NM helping out the 356 of Ice Cream Some Days for G3 Motorsports and that Public Chevy. That Kraken Dodge working to the middle now as we now have the 420 of Queen of Hearts down to the inside. Queen is looking for a heck of a better run here this week. She has been mired in accidents and basically not her own, as Ice Cream now out to the lead of this race. Here comes her teammate, the 3 of Geek Girl Games. So Ice Cream out to the lead right now as we got it 3 wide in the back of the pack. Looks like Mike Check almost bounced it off the 33 of Harvey Jones. So Ice Cream out to the lead. She's finally going to get some contention right now by that 420 of Queen of Hearts, helping with a Toyota teammate, the 471 of Kung Fu Beer for the Drop Bear Racing team. Toyota looking very strong here today, as KFB now almost into the second position with the help of the 51 of AJM. AJM started today's race back in 24th. KFB started today's race back in the 30th position. So back to the front for that 471 of Kung Fu Beer right now. As we saw that 51 of AJM basically pushing the 471 of Kung Fu Beer around this track. He was millimeters, 16ths of an inch, maybe 30 seconds of an inch away from the bumper of that 471 of Kung Fu Beer. He had that help by the 33 of Harvey Jones. He is now pushed out to the lead of this race. AJM has been coming on as like wildfire. Last couple races, he won the All-Star race and now has given himself 5 bonus points here at Texas. Still under green here. We're going to see how long it is before they have to hit the pit stops, as Harvey Jones now into the second spot. Crossover move by the 50 of Candy May and her her Cheerios Dodge for the Amish Buggy Racing. Her car owner and teammate, this 777, the 34, both out of this race. She's got to make some money here for Amish Buggy Racing, as she is working to the bottom of the track. She early going this season, just a terrible, terrible start to her year. Back up to 23rd in the points. Crossover move by the 33 of Harvey Jones now as he works into the second position. We've got it 3 wide in the back of the pack right now as we see the 72 of Dutchess back here. 25 of JTM as well. So KFB went from the front to the back here, as the 95 of Zed Brunna slowed due to that damage from that early caution. So AJM leads the way as Harvey into the second position. Now into second, possibly will be the 12 of Xander, he's into second. We now have the 50 of Canny May down here at the bottom of the track as they work off of turn 2 down the backstretch. So AJM leads the way. The 12 of Xander now into the second position. Resembles still trying to work to the front of this field. Fellow Canadian, the 122 of Adam Victor, trying to make it to the front of the field with the 12 of Zan here. So highest runner right now for DM Motorworks is at 122 of Adam Victor. MBR leading the way here as the 300 of Resemble trying to catch up to the back end of the 50 of Canny May. So Adam battling with the 33 of Harvey Jones right now. Up to the high line is the 8 of Moon Bunny. Here comes a 00 of Mudbone. Mudbone in his traditional way started today's race back in the 36th position for TPRG. He is now into possibly the top 10 as he was your winner earlier this week for the IROC Series race here at Texas. So he's got a little bit of that extra experience here at this new high-speed Texas Motor Speedway, and he is putting it to good use as he is now checking in on that. Now up to the 8th position. Involved in that early caution there is that 666 of Pistol Pete. Again, bouncing it off the 42 of Mel Say What. I mean, just four wide racing wasn't really he caused it. Just bouncing each other, bouncing off each other. And with these narrow margins here at Texas going 200 miles an hour, they just ran out of track. Basically, they just ran out of track. As he is now battling here, we see a battle between the 33 of Harvey Jones, the 8 of Moon Bunny. She's been running that high line here and has been able to just keep her car out here in front of the 33 of Harvey Jones. So Moon Bunny with a good setup here today for G3 Motorsports. She's currently their highest running car. After we did see the 356 out, as we have pit stops happening, we'll catch up to your leader. The 51 of AJM as he is working here, as now the 50 of Canny May drops to the bottom of the track. So AJM has a battle between himself and the 50 of Canny May down the backstretch. We're going to see if it is pit stop time for either one of these drivers. Again, AJM out to the lead of the race. Canny May now in. Here comes AJM. He is still working here. We're working lap number 26 of 67, so closing in on the halfway point here. Your leader is the 51 of AJM. I expect to see him in this next go-round, so he's looking for, I guess it would be a 3 pit stop race, as they did have that early caution in which everybody pitted. So AJM is into the pits. He's leading the way. The 12 of Xander, they're right behind him as they are making their way down the pit road here at Texas. It looks like AJM's pit style right here. He is getting fresh tires and fuel by his MBR pit crew. So it looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop for the 51 of AJM. So he's down on the way. So is the 12 of Zan. Zan is not going to be able to make that pass on pit road. Almost a speeding penalty there. So they're going to be following each other out. The 51 and the 12. We're going to see where they come out on the track. We see the 50 of Canny May sneaking into the picture here. So they are making their way out onto the track. AJM is going to be able to peel off and into, he was into the top position there for a moment. He's going to lose that to what I think is going to be the 122 of Adam Victor here. So Adam Victor out to the lead of this race now with the help of the 300 of Resemble and that 33 of Harvey Jones. AJM and Zan getting their cars fired up here, so they got a couple fresher laps on their tires than the rest of the pack does. So at least 1, possibly 2, maybe 3 laps of fresher tires for them. We'll see how far that can take them into the race. As I'm checking in, so it happened on about like lap 6 was that caution, so about 20 laps before they came into the pits, so that would put them at like lap 47, and that's going to be very close for some of these drivers. It's 20 laps. That'll put them in the pits at 47 or 46. They've got to get to lap 67 here, so maybe one more stop for everybody. I guess we'll find out. But again, your leader on the track now, that 122 of Adam Victor. Second's going to be the 300 of Resemble. Third will be the 33 of Harvey Jones. Fourth will be the 51 of AJM. Fifth will be the 50 of Candy May. Sixth will be the 11 of TC Roberts. Seventh will be the the 12 of Zan. Eighth will be the 420 of Queen of Hearts. Ninth will be the 00 of Mudbone. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 47 of Dash. So Dash has come up from 35th position, basically following that 00 of Mudbone. So these two drivers finishing 1-2 in the IROC Series race started dead last here today at Texas and now have put themselves into the top 10. As things have kind of spread out here, we'll jump through this field. Currently running back there in the very back of the pack. Now the 3 of Geek Girl Games and the 96 of Nico. There we see the 471 of Kung Fu Beer, who led early on. There's your points leader, the 61 of Chevy. So lots of spread happening here at Texas as a battle. We're just battling all over this track here. So the 51 of AJM for MBR, the Alp Wheel and Dodge for MBR. He is now caught up to the front 4. He is working down to the bottom line with Harvey Jones. Harvey's trying to work to the inside of the 300 of Resemble. I believe what Harvey's looking for possibly his second or third win of this season. We'll check in on that in just a second. So Harvey is somewhere in the points. Oh, it can't be down there at the bottom. I don't know. He's just not scored anymore. That's all there is to it. There he is. He's 21st. I'm right past him like 14 times. So Harvey's 21st in the points. And he currently has one win on the season, 4 DNFs though for that 33 of Harvey Jones. That has been the difference maker in a lot of these drivers here this season is that they're getting those wins, but those DNFs have come fast and hard and knocked them down in the point standings early in the season, before this half, and has just caused major issues with them trying to be up here at the front of the field, because we've seen Harvey racing at the front of the field multiple times this season and just has not been able to seal the deal or had issues on pit road, whatever be the case, and just not there were several times where Harvey was leading the way and his car has just not had the fuel mileage that everybody else has. So Harvey has led 60 laps here this season in the More Freedom Series. Highlight the fact that the 77 of Zip, only person this season that has not led a lap in the More Freedom Series. As the 12 of Zan works underneath here, so the 122 of Adam Victor still leading the way. Adam is actually looking for race win number 2 of his career. He's currently running in the top 10 in points. The 51 of AJM working right there with the 12 of Zan. They've got a couple more laps that they can go. Probably, I'm saying one more stop for the 51 and the 12. So Adam Victor leads the way. Now into the second position is the 51 of AJM. They're about to catch up to the 95, the Pink Panther here. So again, Zed had damage from an earlier caution flag, and he has been slow on the track. We're going to see what he does here. Runs his line, lets the 122 of Adam Victor get down to the inside. So does the 51 of AJM here. That's going to allow the 51 to catch up to that 122 of Adam Victor. As now the 12 of Zan trying to work around his teammate and car owner, the 95 of Zed Brunna. Couple Aces to Zed Motorsports drivers right here, the 420 and the 12 going to try to work around their driver as the 300 of Resemble works underneath that 420 of Queen of Hearts here. So 2-car breakaway up at the front of the field between the 51 of AJM and the 122 of Adam Victor. AJM has gradually moved himself into the second position in points. Got there after the mini checks, who had won, then had just a terrible week, I believe, the next week. Ended up going out of the race, and that allowed the 51 of AJM to move into the second position. Struggle last week for the 61 of Chevy as he went out of the race as well. As we see the 420 of Queen of Hearts trying to work underneath the 95 of Zed Brunna. Here comes the 00 of Mudbone, the 300, as we have pit stops. I think we got pit stop. No, is it? It is. The pit stops are happening here. 51 of AJM will take over the lead of this race. Him and Zan now battling for the lead here. AJM just has kind of a dominant car through the middle of the turn. Not the high line, not the low line. That middle line for, well, the low line and the middle line here for that 51 of AJM. Kind of dominant for him. So he goes an additional one lap here as we are working lap number 45. So again, 67 laps here today. And that we're going to see if AJM comes into the pits, because, I mean, we're talking the fact that AJM, if he goes out, if he stays out this lap, nope, he's into the pits. Zan stays out. AJM is in. We're going to follow along with your leader, the 51 of AJM, the 95 of Zed Brunna in behind him. Zed is a lap down, so AJM coming in for possibly his final pit stop as he crosses the line. That should be lap 47. So it's going to be very, very close here at the end of the race for the 51 of AJM. I think the 12 of Zan will have the ability to make it all the way. They're pumping as much fuel as they can into that Alp Dodge for MBR. He is down. He is away. So we're going to see if the 51 of AJM can pull it off here on a fuel mileage run here in the More Freedom Series. Again, he's got 1 or 2 laps on the 122 of Adam Victor, who is about ready to pass him here. So possibly the final pit stop for everyone. We're not going to listen. We're not going to know till the end of this race if that's the final pit stop or if we've got more action to come, as Zan is out of the pits. He's definitely not going to beat that 122 of Adam Victor. Adam just with a fantastic pit stop for DM Motorworks. Having said that, AJM had a clear run into the pits, and is that going to cause... Did they get enough fuel? Maybe they know that they have to stop, and so they're like, you know what, we got to stop anyway. Just get him in and out. So now, I believe your leader, we're going to check in here. I believe your leader is the 122 of Adam Victor. Second's going to be the 33 of Harvey Jones. Third will be the 51 of AJM. Fourth will be the 00 of Mudbone. Again, coming up from the 36th position. 5th will be the 420 of Queen of Hearts. 6th will be the 47 of Dash. 7th will be the 11 of TC Roberts. 8th will be the 12 of Zan. 9th will be the 300 of Resemble. And rounding out your top 10 will now be the 544 of Frederick Winklebaum. So Dash now, following that 00 of Mudbone around the track, and they are solidly into the top 10 as his countryman, the 11 of TC Roberts, working around his teammate, the 420 of Queen of Hearts. Again, another dominant performance here today for Aces to Z Motorsports. Very dominant performance here today for Aces to Z. Adam Victor running out here all by himself with a 1.9 second lead over the second place 33 of Harvey Jones. "16 laps to go here at Texas." Good look at that beautiful orange and black Dodge Challenger pace cars. We now have a battle. Almost had a battle on the track between the 47 of Dash and the 00 of Mudbone. Again, Mudbone trying to make it back-to-back here. He is now into, let's see, we've heard 4th position. He may have been in 4th before, but Dash is trying his hardest here to win a race. That's all we're going to say about that. So, no announcer jinxing curse for the 47 of Dash. His teammate is the leader of the race, 122 of Adam Victor. He's got help by his Colonial countryman, the 12 of Zan, the Canadian, helping the British guy. So Zan's trying to make it back up to the 51 of AJM. AJM and Zan just have had a great battle here today at Texas and been able to keep it out a couple more laps than everybody else. So I think right now, if you're talking somebody in the catbird seat, it's got to be, you got to start talking about the 12 of Zan, who went one lap farther than that 51 of AJM. So you have to start saying, seriously considering that Zan is going to go the distance here. Questions remain about several of these drivers, whether they can make it all the way or not, as the 51 of AJM does make it around the 33 of Harvey Jones, like in convincing fashion here. So AJM, makes it around the 33 of Harvey Jones. Harvey's fallen back to the 3rd position. They have cut the lead down to 0.8 seconds now. So they've knocked about 1.1 seconds off the lead of the 122 of Adam Victor here. Fastest lap of the day, again, by the 12 of Zan at 202.933, 202 miles an hour. That time was a 26.663, as compared to the time for the pole sitting time was a 26.637. Actually, a 26.663 was the outside pole here today by the 33 of Harvey Jones. So fastest lap of the day, as you see that 12 of Zan has now caught up to the 51 of AJM at the front pack here. So fastest lap of the day by the 12 of Zan matches the outside pole here today for the 33 of Harvey Jones. And in odd fashion, both the 33 and the 300, who were the front row here today, both currently in the top 10. As we watch the 47 of Dash fall around the 11 of TC Roberts here. So the battle on the track for the second position between the 122 of Adam Victor and the 12 of Zan. Again, we have no idea if these cars can make it to the end of this race as laps wind down here. We are under 10 to go here at Texas in this Texas 100. As the 33 of Harvey Jones is, I mean, he could be playing possum here. We don't know yet. He could be like, hey, if you get around me, I can at least do some drafting, possibly move up to the front of this field, but he is losing that draft inch by inch over the 12 of Zan, who has just absolutely hammered it down here to catch up to the 51 of AJM. If I had to guess right now, if we're talking somebody that could be the winner of this race, you've got to throw that 12 of Zan. You got to throw his name into the hat here, as his car for Aces to Z Motorsports looks insanely fast here today at Texas. So this is a battle for the top position here today at Texas, as AJM leads the way. 12 of Zan is trying his best right now to work around him. Checking in on the back of the pack, as it is, we do have pit stops underway. So turn of events here with less than 5 to go. Pit stops happening here at Texas, as the 12 of Zan is trying to get around that 51 of AJM here. Questions remain. Are these two drivers going to have to pit, or are they going to be able to keep it out to the end of this race, as we see basically the rest of the field coming in right now? So do they stop now? Do they get some draft, as we watch 471 to Kung Fu Beer exiting the pits? Do they stop now? Do they get draft? Do they come in? Do they stay out? 51 of AJM is into the pits, folks. 3 laps to go. Zan takes over the lead of this race. So we're going to follow along with your leader, the 12 of Xander for Aces to Z Motorsports. The Mappa Toyota trying his darndest to extend this and win the race here. He's staying out, folks. He is staying out. He crosses the line. That's going to be 2 laps to go for your leader, the 12 of Xander. AJM is out of the pits, so Xander is staying out. He's trying to win this race. He's letting it roll, boys. He is letting it roll here today at Texas. Your leader, the 12 of Xander, takes the white flag. Trying to do it. Trying to extend his fuel, get to the end of this race, trying to win it for Aces to Z Motorsports. Basically laps the field with no pit stop here at the end, off of turn number 4. He could coast to the win. Your winner here today is the 12 of Xander. Holy cow! As Harry Carey would say, holy cow, what a race by that 12 of Xander. What a great fuel mileage gamble by Aces to Z Motorsports. Let's go through your finishing top 10. Again, your winner is the 12 of Xander. Second's going to be the 51 of AJM. Third will be the 00 of Mudbone. Fourth will be the 122 of Adam Victor. Fifth will be the 33 of Harvey Jones. Sixth will be the 11 of TC Roberts. Seventh will be the 47 of Dash. Eighth will be the 420 of Queen of Hearts. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 300 of Resemble. So an amazing day here today for Aces to Z Motorsports. What a package they put onto the 12 of Xander. But next week we head to Las Vegas for the Las Vegas 80. Always a fun race there in Las Vegas. Let's check in on those all-important standings as AJM finishes second here today. Your points lead of the 61 of Chevy finishes back in 23rd, so you're seeing the points here on the screen. Check in on those team and chassis standings as well, as we know that Aces to Z Motorsports is going to extend that lead over MBR with a fantastic performance today. I mean, what can you say about the 12 of Xander and Aces to Zed Motorsports here today? They absolutely dominated in the long runs here today at Texas. Their car just had the best gas mileage of everybody else. A huge gas mileage gamble here at the end of the race allows them to come out, win the race. I believe that's Zan's second win of his career. We're going to check that out real fast. That is his second win of his career. And I know they're going to be celebrating with some Molson and some Labatt's down in the pits, down at the haulers tonight. So congratulations to the 12 of Zan. He is your winner. And until next week at Las Vegas, take care.